Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
It's just here, he gets into the position there, watch. You see he stays there. There he bites him there, you see him lift his teeth. And Holyfield in agony at that point, trying to rip free. And an awful lot of pain.
Follow my instructions. You know, the body touch gloves at this time. I'm not ready to do this.
Wow, no touch. Ronda did not touch. It's the new UFC Bantamweight Champion.
Oh, that's disgraceful. That's not only ejection, that's going to be a suspension and should be. What a disgrace.
Come on, guys, it was a great match. You have to cheer for both teams in great matches like that. Talk me through, what was it like to play?
It was hard mentally to play that game, but we...
Guys, please respect for the finalists, second finalists, please respect them.
Amazing words from Taz, amazing words. That's what makes this sport great. Talk me through, it was hard, man.
Have you ever run across someone who's just a bad sport? Being a good sport and sportsmanship is something you have to practice and do every day. And just like anger, losing it once can ruin everything you've done up until that point. We're going to watch a quick video on sportsmanship, and after that, our instructor Ronnie is going to come up and talk to you about what you're going to learn in this next lesson.
Hi, I'm Matt Dias, former Florida State Seminole, and was fortunate enough to play parts of 11 Major League seasons in Major League Baseball. I'm here to talk to you today about sportsmanship. I think before we get into good sportsmanship, we need to discover what a bad sport is. Guys and girls, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The person on your team that's a self-promoter. The person on your team who's in it only for their own ambitions. The person on the team, when you need a sacrifice bunt, shakes off the coach and swings for the fences. That is the definition of a bad sport. So what is a good sport? The exact opposite. Someone who's in the game for something other than themselves. In the game to help their team. In the game for the sake of the game, to give back to the game. I'm going to tell you a couple stories about how I've noticed sportsmanship affecting my life and how it can affect even a championship team. When I was in high school, I hit a home run on a field very similar to this one. I was in 9th grade and I was very proud of my accomplishment. I self-promoted. My high school coach caught me talking about it and telling people, yeah, I hit it 10 feet past the fence. I hit it 15 feet past the fence. He pulled me aside and said, Matty, I want you to know something. This game is bigger than you'll ever be, and this game was around a long time before you were here. This game will be around a long time after you're gone. He said, there's a bigger picture here. He goes, and if you're in this just for self-promotion alone, let someone else tell your story. They'll tell it bigger and better than you ever could. It's funny because it's true. The home run was a big home run in a game, and it actually put our team ahead and won the game. And like I said, it went about 15 feet past the fence. Well, I come home, and the story's still told about that game, and somehow the ball's ended up landing in the highway by now, about 300 feet past the fence. I still can't hit a ball that far. But someone else told my story for me. I can't comprehend the temptation you guys face with Twitter, with Facebook, with Instagram, to put your own accomplishments out there. Let someone else tell your story. They'll tell it bigger and better than you ever could. I'd like to also talk to you about how good sportsmanship helped the San Francisco Giants win the World Series. I was fortunate enough to play for one of the greatest managers in Major League Baseball history, Bobby Cox, with the Atlanta Braves. I played for him for parts of 6 years. I was part of his very last game ever managed. It was in the playoffs. We played against the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco Giants went on to win the World Series that year, but before they did, they eliminated my team, the Braves. In essence, retired Bobby Cox out of managing baseball. If any of you guys have ever followed baseball, you understand that when you win a series or clinch a championship, the celebration's pretty amazing. It's a dog pile on the mound, followed by a rush into the locker room to spray champagne all over everybody. Well, something happened on this night. The San Francisco Giants beat us to move on in the playoffs. They had their dog pile on the mound, and they were rushing off the field to spray each other with champagne and celebrate in the locker room. And all of a sudden, we see them stop. They all turned around, looked at Bobby Cox and our team, and applauded what a great career Bobby Cox had had. That was one of the most extreme examples of good sportsmanship I've ever seen. I really believe that depth, that understanding that the San Francisco Giants were a part of something bigger. They were part of the game of baseball. They appreciated what Bobby Cox had brought to the game of baseball, stepped outside themselves for a minute to applaud him and show good sportsmanship. I believe that's why that group of men went on to win the World Series that year. Good character. They thought about other people. They pulled for each other. They weren't self-promoters. That is how I would define good sportsmanship. Are you tough enough?
Today we will be learning about sportsmanship and the mental toughness you need to show good sportsmanship on and off the field. Sportsmanship is treating the people you play with and against as you'd like to be treated yourself. It means playing fair, following the rules of the game, respecting the judgment of referees and officials, and treating opponents with respect. Good sportsmanship is the most important aspect of the game. Often, games will get intense and heated. Therefore, sportsmanship must be learned before that happens in order to be practiced when sticky situations arise during competition. That's good sportsmanship. So what is unsportsmanlike conduct? It's a negative behavior towards the opposing team or their fans. It can even be towards your own teammates. Unsportsmanlike conduct includes using profanity, fighting, or committing flagrant fouls. It can also include acts of malicious and hateful nature toward a contest official or opponent. Unsportsmanlike conduct can be a game changer. Many games are lost just by the unsportsmanlike conduct of one player. And people will always remember that player in a way that he or she would not like to be remembered. If you Google unsportsmanlike conduct, you'll be amazed to see the endless list of unsportsmanlike conduct events. All of the athletes and coaches in the stories you will read about in this lesson have one thing in common. They had something happen to them out of their control, something they did not like, and they all had a decision of how to act or even react. Unfortunately, the choices they made cost them a lot of money and negative press. Most of them may have the opportunity to make more money, but not an opportunity to make a new reputation. How do you rate your sportsmanship? Good sportsmanship is not giving in to the temptation to retaliate when things don't go your way. Retaliation means reacting, getting revenge, getting even, or striking back. How often in sports do you see the retaliator getting the penalty rather than the first offender? The person that fights back is just as guilty as the one that starts the fight. Use self-control and don't retaliate. Good sportsmanlike conduct is a mental mindset. It can't just be turned on at a moment's notice, during a time of stress, or maybe anger. Good sportsmanship means acknowledging victories without humiliating opponents, being quietly proud of success, and letting victories speak for themselves. Good sportsmanship means congratulating the winners after a tough loss and making no excuses, even if you feel like things were unfair. Good sportsmanship doesn't just happen on the field either. It's about carrying a positive attitude into all other areas of life. In your lesson, you will read about the tough sportsmanship STAR code. Number 1, show what you can do. Don't talk about it. Number 2, treat everyone with fairness. Number 3, avoid retaliating at all costs. Number 4, respect athleticism. Remember, becoming a good sport doesn't just happen. The time to begin is now.